All right. I'm Jagger May. This is
Randy.
Stephen Wall, and this is Randy Randall.
I am Randall. Follow me on Twitter.
We're here to give you our views on sports topics, and we'll start it off with the NFL MVP race. Personally, I think we're on agreement that the three top candidates are Adrian Peterson, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning.
No AJ Green?
No,
Brandon Marshall?
Okay, well, I'll let these two give you their opinion. I'll let you give them their opinions on their candidate. Okay, starting off with Steven. Steven, what are your top three candidates, and who do you think will win, and who do you think should win?
I'll give you my top three candidates in order. Peyton Manning, coming off 4 neck surgeries, changed teams, still tearing it up, on the longest win streak in the NFL right now. Adrian Peterson, off his injury last December, didn't even know if he'd play at all this year.
These just sound like feel-good stories.
Let him finish it.
Hold on, I'm not done. And then Tom Brady, because I hate Tom Brady, and I hate the Patriots. And even if Tom Brady threw 50 touchdowns and no interceptions, I wouldn't vote for him.
That's why you don't have a vote.
Generally, journalism isn't biased.
Am I a journalist?
You're wearing a New York Jets shirt, so that makes you...
Tebow should be MVP if he played.
Okay, Randy.
He would be if he played.
Randy, give your opinion on this.
Well...
It's Peyton Manning.
No.
Let him finish.
Hey, yeah.
Let him get his second, I'll get mine.
You know who my preseason pick was? It was Tony Romo. And I think if the Cowboys make a serious run here towards the end of the season and sneak into the playoffs, I think it could still be Tony Romo. But that's my dark horse. That's my dark horse. Y'all didn't get...
You know who I picked.
Throw out stat. I want to hear your honest to God, three candidates that you think.
Let me say one
No,
thing.
let him... You had your say. Let him have his say.
Well, he brought something up that I can talk about.
I know.
Last season, I picked Peyton Manning. It looks like he's going to win it. I look like a genius.
Okay, I'm just saying that's irrelevant. Our viewers don't give a shit about that. Randy, what are your three candidates on your honest three? Don't give a dark horse. How about this? Give you your three, who you think will win and who you think should win. Then I'll let you spill out your dark horse.
I already told you. It's Tony Romo is dark horse.
You think Tony? Your opinion?
He had one bad month. I mean, imagine
a solid month. That is 4 games of football.
Yeah,
that is almost a quarter of a season.
Well, he has no help. He has no offensive line. He had no running game, and his receivers are wishy-washy at best, except for Jason Witten.
They drop a lot of passes.
Yeah, they do.
Dez Bryant has
If Dez Bryant has turned into one of the best receivers in the NFL, these past 3 games.
Saudi got hurt.
So you think Tony Romo is in the argument for an MVP?
He could be, yes.
If they win their division, yes.
If they sneak into the playoffs, it's going to be on his account. The team is on his back right now.
But if they don't make the playoffs, it's on him too.
Because the defense hasn't performed up to the way they were.
Outside of DeMarcus Ware, they haven't.
Oh, well, they went out and signed a corner that was supposed to help out the defense quite a bit.
Brandon Carr.
They also drafted one that's terrible.
And they moved.
Claiborne hadn't played bad at all.
He's got called for 21 pass interference. He leads the league in pass interference calls.
Yeah, he's definitely not performed up to a top 10 pick.
He's not a number 1.
They moved up to get him and made him a priority, and it's the Rob Ryan defense hasn't worked. Was supposed to be so much better.
Well, here's my argument on that. With that is, you're saying his Rob Ryan defense hasn't worked. Granted, I hate both of the Ryans. I don't like either one of them. But you have a defense with DeMarcus Ware, Sean Lee, Jay Ratliff.
Yeah, they've been plagued by injuries. That's
Sensabaugh, and then you got Maurice Claiborne and Brandon Carr. I'll give you with the penalties with Maurice Claiborne and how he hasn't performed to be. What was he top?
He was the 7th pick.
He was the 7th pick overall.
He was 7th. I thought he was not 7th or 9.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
He was top 10.
Regardless,
the Cowboys gave up a lot to move up into
like I said, they traded after draft to replace Terrence Newman, and what should have been the revival of the season is getting a pass defense. Anyway, without that saying, one thing I have to give Rob Ryan this. When your defense is on the field for more than 50% of your team's possession, I'm just saying.
It's a good theme song.
I'm just saying. Like I said, I haven't seen anything from Tony Romo. I mean, things where I see bright spots in Tony Romo, then when the game's on the line, I don't see.
He's clutch last week.
He was pretty clutch.
Now he's clutch.
Generally, he's pretty clutch.
Consistency, I don't see it.
he never gives up. He never gives up on his team. What was it? They were down 21-0 against the Giants.
Helen Keller never gave up. She would never be MVP.
That was irrelevant.
That was completely irrelevant. That was a complete frittata statement. Anyway, how much were they down to the Giants when they came back? They were down 21-0. And Thanksgiving Day, they were down to the Redskins. How much?
They still lost.
Well, they came back in both games. They were in it at the end because
but
of who?
They did not win.
Because of who they were in the game. That's my point.
Because
it doesn't matter if he win because he was the whole reason they were in the game. If he had any help, what would they be right now? If
DeMarco Murray was not hurt, what are they right now? 7-6.
Yeah, 7-6.
They would probably be 9-4.
If he had even a twinkling of a consistent running game this year and a consistent offensive line, they would be running away with the NFC East right now. It's no question.
Well, here's what I won't even say this as a homer pick using Tom Brady as expression. I'll giving Steven some love on his opinion and his love for Peyton Manning. What I see in Peyton Manning that I do not see in Tony Romo is Peyton Manning makes everyone around him better. Arguably, the Cowboys have a way better receiving core than I won't say eons better, but one reason I think they're better is because one name, Jason Witten. You have Jason Witten as your tight end. You have Dez Bryant, your receiver, and Miles Austin. Granted, I've never been sold on Miles Austin because you flick.
Tony Romo made him Miles Austin.
Hold on, I got this.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. You got two young receivers, in Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas. Granted, Demaryius Thomas, I think, has been promising. He just needs to grow and gel, and he had to run through two different quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. But, like I said, I would take Dez Bryant and Miles Austin and Jason Witten over what the Broncos have. And look what Peyton Manning does with that. He makes the whole team better. Tony Romo, he doesn't do enough to be MVP. There isn't enough. Granted, you can say he keeps winning the game.
Look what Tebow did with those receivers last year. You're going to tell me that makes Peyton Manning's a god because he can make those receivers look a little better? I mean, Tebow...
They're not putting up the stats that they're putting up this year?
No, because they were leading the NFL in rushing last year. Are they doing that this year? Negative. No, they're not. They're not even probably... I wish we had the stats in front of us. I mean, I can tell you, I can guarantee you they're not number one in the NFL.
They might be 15 to 20 area.
They were number one in the NFL last year in rushing. With Lance Ball? Was that their...
It's Willis McGahee.
He was in and out.
He was injured, but Lance Ball
was their primary back.
No, Sean Marino.
No, he was gone.
Hurt. Yeah,
Tebow's first game.
Tebow ran for 600-something yards. If he would have started, he would have been a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, I mean, so Tebow, he could work with that offense, so don't give me that for Peyton that he stepped into. Plus, he had receivers come with him.
And this supports my argument of why I would take Tom Brady over Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady is a quintessential system quarterback. That's what I think.
We've seen it with Matt Castle.
If I had to pick for MVP, it would be Adrian Peterson. He is the most valuable player in the NFL. That's what the award is for. The most valuable player in the NFL. What are the Vikings without Adrian Peterson? Do they win 2 games?
0-13.
Yeah. What are the Patriots without Tom Brady?
Matt Castle won 11-5.
Exactly. They
had a top 5 defense.
What did Matt Castle do in Kansas
defense.
City?
Don't talk about Kansas City, please.
What has Matt Castle done in Kansas City? He took the Patriots.
He went to one play.
It's a
one
system.
Pro Bowl.
The Patriots are a system. I'm not saying that Tom Brady's. I'm not him. I'm not going to be completely ignorant.
No, Tom Brady's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league right now.
But
arguably of all time,
it's a system. And the Patriots would mount. They would chug along without him. They obviously wouldn't be as good. But
they got a running game too.
They have really, yeah.
But Ridley's a good back.
Okay, it's not as much like Stephen was a good back, but who utilizes him the most with that hurry up college style offense that they've now pretty much introduced to the NFL. That double tight, they really, really, really innovated the NFL now with.
Is that Tom Brady?
I'm just saying, I'm getting there, but who runs that offense? Essentially, one thing with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning that you have an on-field offensive coordinator.
But you're talking about somebody with weapons. Look at all the weapons that Brady has. He has his running game. He has Welker out of the slot, probably the best slot receiver of all time. He has Brandon Lloyd, a damn good receiver on the outside. He has two of the best.
Brandon Lloyd hasn't been consistent at all until the last 4 games.
And this is why both of y'all are making my argument for Adrian Peterson. Who does he have playing quarterback for him?
Christian Ponder, bottom five.
Bottom five quarterback in the NFL. A mediocre offensive line.
No receiver since Percy Harvin got hurt.
And then
he's not even a prototypical receiver anyway.
Their leading receiver right now is a tight end that's probably
15.
Yeah,
15.
it's probably. Adrian Peterson is the Minnesota Vikings, and they are in playoff contention because of Adrian Peterson. How could you say he's not the MVP? He is the most valuable player in the NFL. You take Adrian Peterson off the Minnesota Vikings, they win 2 games.
What are the Packers without Aaron Rodgers?
So you really think that
they're another system. That's another system. I mean,
I will give this. I think the Packers are a clear system over the Patriots on there as a system.
They're about the same. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers doesn't do to an offense of what Tom Brady or Peyton Manning does to that. Mike McCarthy is the one that does that. He's the one that makes an offensive go.
So you're saying that if Aaron Rodgers switched to a different team, he wouldn't be as good?
I'd say he'd be good, but he wouldn't be nearly as good as he was.
So if he was on the Patriots team, he wouldn't be as good as Tom Brady?
If he was on the Patriots team, he'd be as good as Tom Brady.
I think he'd be better than Tom Brady if he played for the Patriots. I think he's a better quarterback.
He's the best quarterback right now.
To me, as a quarterback, I don't see it. The only thing that would put him above Tom Brady is what he can do with his legs.
He plays mobile. And this is another thing. He is the Green Bay Packers, though. He plays with the bottom 5 offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
And every one of his receivers
he's had problems with receiver injuries all year. He's making Randall Cobb look like a Pro Bowler this year.
And that's not systematic.
That's not systematic.
That's the person that's throwing the ball making everyone better.
That's what you're talking about, people making better.
That's systematic to me. Because you have Randall Cobb. He's a dynamic player. To me,
and that's not knocks against the teams. Obviously, they're doing something right. If you can put in Matt Castle for the New England Patriots, and they can still go to the playoffs.
So I'm talking about individual players on that. Well, I see a system. I mean, granted, you have Greg Jennings. Well, I'm not talking about this year. I'm looking more about last year on her. Now I've seen the struggle. I've seen Aaron Rodgers put the team on his back essentially on there. Last year, you have Greg Jennings, you have Jordy Nelson, and then you have Jermichael Finley.
Jermichael Finley had shut up.
Let me finish. He's a top 10 tight end.
There's not very deep. It's not
tight end's not.
He's a top 10 tight end.
You can maybe name 6 quality ones
at most this year.
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez, Tony Gonzalez, Jimmy Graham, and maybe Greg Olsen.
Owen Daniels?
Owen Daniels isn't better than Greg Olsen.
Pretty shaky.
No, I'll take Owen Daniels over Greg Olsen. A healthy Dustin Keller, Brent Selleck.
Dustin Keller really isn't that good.
He has nobody to throw to.
He has no one to throw to, and he can't stay healthy. He's the only sure receiver that the Jets have.
You can't produce. If you don't produce, you're not good.
Good point.
I'll give you your argument there. I'm talking about with that foundation of receiving core. With that receiving core right there. Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn comes in, breaks a franchise record for throwing.
Nobody's playing defense.
That doesn't mean anything. You have your backup come in. Where's Matt Flynn now? Backup to a rookie. That's what I see with them. Well, one thing is, I'll give you
essentially the same thing with Matt Castle.
The same thing as Matt Castle. It's the exact same
thing with
he
Matt
wasn't
Castle.
breaking records with it. He went
to the Pro Bowl.
He went to the Pro Bowl and led his team to the playoffs.
He led his team to the playoffs with Randy Moss, Wes Welker. I'm saying, way better.
You're making an argument for the system then. They're able to bring in players.
In that defense was, if not the top defense, they were a top 5 defense in the league then. They were top 5.
You're discrediting Tom Brady is the more and more you
2007 Tom Brady and
it's the same thing this year. Their defense lead. What are they in? They're the number 1 in turnover differential.
But they at the beginning of the season, how many yards were they giving up?
I think they.
No, you're right. They're number 1 because Tom Brady's only threw 4 picks and Jay Cutler's
their turnover ratio. They have the highest one.
Yeah.
So obviously their defense is coming alive. And
now
they give a lot of yards, but not points.
I haven't seen anything but a mediocre defense since Aqib Talib got there.
You can't say that Peyton runs systematic offenses because look what they did without him last year. That wasn't a system. or Curtis Painter would have been able to do.
And like I said, you're making an argument for a team 3 years back. Was it 3 years that Castle's been with the Chiefs now?
They're running pretty much the same system though.
No, they're not. They're running a totally different offense that they're doing now.
They added
A double tie.
Well, so that's just an extra big target for them to hit, and they're just as athletic as receivers.
So they're a totally different team now. The only two people on that offense are the same. Logan
He
Mankins.
doesn't have Bill Belichick on the sideline though.
Who?
Matt Castle.
That's why he's not good.
It's
It's
a
the
system.
system he's running. Yeah, exactly.
I don't completely buy into the
There's
system.
nothing wrong with there being a system quarterback if you can run the system well.
Oh yeah.
We're not discrediting anything Tom Brady's doing in that system, but without that system, I don't think Tom
I'm
Brady would be
discrediting
that
him.
good.
I'm discrediting him for MVP, and that gives the edge to Adrian Peterson in that.
Adrian Peterson.
So
is
you
the one
you honestly think Ryan Mallett's going to put up the gaudy numbers that Tom Brady has? Ryan Mallett.
You're comparing. Now you're blowing it out of proportion.
How am I blowing out of proportion? You said the same thing about Matt Castle.
I'm just
If-
saying
let's say Tom
that gives
Brady-
the edge to Adrian
Tom
Peterson
Brady.
for MVP. That doesn't.
Well, I'm saying if Tom Brady tore his ACL and MCL at the same time, Ryan Mallett came in, we would not be a playoff contender this year.
Yeah, they would.
No, they would
still
not.
Go to the
They
playoffs.
would-
They play in the AFC East. Yes, they would still go to the playoffs.
Yeah, they would win more games than the Dolphins with a rookie quarterback. They would win more games than Buffalo, who overpays for nothing, and then the Jets are just horrendous.
Jets. They would go to the playoffs. No
Rex
doubt.
Ryan would coach them out of the playoffs.
They
like
would
he
still.
has
They
been.
would still probably be a 10-6 team, 11-5 with Ryan Mallett.
At worst, they would be 9-7,
Yeah, I agree.
and that would be at the beginning of the year. If he tore it now, they're already in the playoffs.
Yeah. Now,
if anything, like I said,
Now in the
if-
playoffs, if he did anything, they wouldn't win a game without Tom Brady.
I
in the
think
playoffs.
I'll give Adrian Peterson the edge over both of y'all's arguments over here because of value to a team. And
I was going to say Adrian Peterson. Did I just change your mind there?
Huh?
Did I just change your mind with my argument?
I see it. I would not be sad over.
I have never heard.
I'll say it like this: no matter who wins it, they deserve it.
Who?
Whoever's gonna
Any
win
of those
it.
three, I would not be upset about. But if I had to put my order, I'd want Tom Brady or Adrian Peterson. Just for the fact, if you take Adrian Peterson away from the Minnesota Vikings, you have the Minnesota Vikings.
I would probably say Peyton or Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I would.
Those two.
I think it's not even close. I personally don't think it should be close. I think it should be Adrian Peterson.
But who will get it?
Tom
Is he
Brady.
getting
Probably
a fifth?
Peyton
Is he
Manning.
getting one for every finger now?
Probably Peyton Manning.
I don't think Peyton Manning will get it. I don't.
I think he's gonna. He should have got it last year by how terrible his team was without him.
I
Because
think Peyton Manning will get it, but there's no doubt that Adrian Peterson should.
Okay. Next one, war. Me and Steven have already had several arguments on this. Randy, I'll let you start this one off. And let him finish his argument on here of Rookie of the Year.
It's a pretty tight 3-man race, obviously. I mean, you got Doug Martin's doing pretty good things. 5-man race.
Just go ahead.
No, it's
If-
Doug Martin, Andrew Luck, and Robert Griffin. I mean,
Go ahead. I'm
Russell
looking at
Wilson.
no, I don't think he would.
What,
I mean,
what would RG3 do without Alfred Morris?
what would Alfred Morris do without RG3? We're about to find out this week because Kirk Cousins is starting this week. So
We're gonna see.
we're gonna find
We're-
out how
look,
valuable
we're gonna
RG3
find out,
is
like,
this
We're
week.
gonna find
And
out how valuable Alfred Morris is as well.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're not deep at all. They still have Evan Royster and Roy Helu, who did have
Now, Roy
decent.
Lou's out. I think he's been on IR.
Those
he
two
on
don't
IR?
matter. We're talking about rookies. Go ahead and make your case for who's gonna get it.
I'm trying to discredit your case of Alfred Morris, but Randy.
Alfred Morris is not in consideration, and neither is Russell Wilson. So both the others point. It's a 3-man.
I'm just saying that
Doug
he's
Martin
in the
won't
argument.
be
I mean, he could be in the argument, but he's not in the race.
All right,
The race is a
It's a
two-man race.
3-man race.
Two-man race.
Well, at most it's a 3-man race. I'm putting Doug Martin in there because
He's
he's
been really impressive.
he's done a lot of things.
putting up
for
gaudy
the-
numbers.
He's done a lot of things for the Buccaneers this year, but in reality, it's probably gonna be a 2-man race. I mean, it's Luck and RG3. I think it's gonna come down to the end of the season if Luck's able to get his team to win the division because they get the Texans twice here at the end. If Luck gets them to win the division, I think Luck will win it.
Who do you think should win it?
Look at what the teams were last year compared to this year.
Both
Let
of
him-
them were not very good.
Well, they had to trade up to get the 2 pick. It's clear that the Colts had the number 1 outright. Look how atrocious that team was last
But
year.
it
They
was
gave up last year. That wasn't just the credit that they sucked.
Yeah.
They just gave up.
Coaching was bad.
It just
Coaching was atrocious.
and then they have a lot to play for. I mean, that's a good story they got going down there with their coach and everything.
Chuck
so,
Strong.
So they got a lot going on down there as far as motivational.
So who's your pick?
I would probably, if I had to pick, I'd probably say RG3, and it's probably because of the lack of turnovers. That would probably be the decider because RG3's been doing extremely well, taking care of the football, and he does it all. I mean,
What if he doesn't make the playoffs at all, and Andrew Luck makes a wild card?
The NFC's a harder. It's way more difficult to get in the playoffs in the NFC than it is.
Well,
AFC.
no, I wouldn't say that. Andrew Luck still has a chance to win his division. That's pretty impressive.
Against one of the top 5 teams in the league.
Y'all, I mean, look what.
But if the season ended today, RG3 should win the MVP. That's pretty much
the rookie of the year.
A rookie of the year. Yeah, excuse me. But yeah, the season ended today. RG3 he deserves it because he's taking better care of the football, and if you probably even looked at the stats, he's probably got more total offense.
Not yardage. No, I looked at it. Actually, if you add his rushing with his passing, he's still around 20-ish shy of what Andrew Luck's thrown for. Of course, Luck's thrown more.
Yeah,
but that's also where his turnovers come from. Is there because they have no running game, but they do try to establish the run. If you watch a Colts game, and it gets them behind, and he throws them right back into the game. And look at his.
No, I wouldn't say that the running game gets them behind. It's just 3 interceptions in the first half that get them behind and forces them to come back.
Eli Manning does it, and he's considered borderline elite.
No,
Are you saying he's the same thing as Eli, basically?
No, I'd put him above Eli. I'd rather have him than
when he
Eli.
gets 2 Super Bowls, he can be above Eli.
Well, he's a rookie. I mean, you can't just be going.
If I'm saying if I had to draft right now, if I could either pick up Eli Manning in free agency, disregard age. I'll let you consider age. I'll let you consider age on here. If I had to pick up Eli Manning in free agency or draft Andrew Luck, I'm drafting Andrew Luck. Eli, when I try to buy into him, he disappoints me. Every time. He disappoints me.
He won 2 Super Bowls. What's disappointing about that?
He didn't win 2 Super Bowls.
So that throw he threw was the both
Wes
of those throws?
Wes Welker lost a Super Bowl, and a freak of nature catch won a Super Bowl.
That sounds like a Patriot.
But he had the freak of nature get around the pass rush and throw with the man on his back and get it out there. And was that 4th down or 3rd and long?
It was 3rd and long, 4th down.
It was a almost.
I see a
game
tremendous catch.
Did you not see tremendous pocket presence?
That was Eli Manning.
That was Eli Manning, my friend.
I mean,
yes, it was a tremendous catch, the craziest catch I've ever seen. But for him to get that pass off to there with men draped all over him, he avoided how many sacks? 3, 4? And someone grabbing his jersey as he threw it.
And he threw the game winning, and then after that he threw a game winning touchdown pass.
And in the second Super Bowl, the pass to Mario Manningham was amazing.
Oh yeah,
that was a nice.
I'll give you that pass right there. And here, actually, with that Super Bowl, I said, "Wow!" I was like, Eli Manning. It's like, I hate him. I can't stand him being a Patriots fan. But he's in the elite race. And this season, he's too inconsistent to be elite to me.
They do this every year.
He's too inconsistent to be elite to me. To be elite, you don't have that. Peyton Manning doesn't do that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't do that.
Was John Elway elite?
For his time.
He did the same thing, and he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't like John Elway.
I don't either.
Not as a person, even as his stats. Like his completion percentage, his quarterback rating for that. To me, he was a
gunslinger.
He was a good player on a great team.
They went to like 3 Super Bowls with him, and they lost without those.
You're gonna say that his team was great for like his whole 20-year career? I don't think so. I mean,
the last 2 or 3 when Terrell Davis got there.
Terrell Davis
and Rod Smith was still young then.
He wouldn't have won a Super Bowl without Terrell Davis.
There's no way because Terrell Davis is 2,000-yard running back.
Terrell Davis had one of the greatest 2 or 3 year spans in the NFL history.
Yep, I agree. Anyway, back to the rookie. I think it's Andrew Luck just because of where their teams stand right now, and that's all there really is to me. I mean, the number.
No argument.
Well, of course he has.
You can't go to the number because he turns the ball over.
Because he throws the ball more. If RG3 threw the ball more, would he have more interceptions?
I don't think so.
None, not one. If he threw the ball.
Oh, he's obviously gonna have more. He's not gonna have as many as Luck though.
Is his team gonna win as much?
He might. I don't know.
What's the main stat that matters the most at the end of the day?
Obviously the W's.
Who has more W's?
Andrew Luck does.
Who's the leader of their team? Andrew
Both
Luck.
of them are the Lakers.
Okay, and if one of them has more wins than the other one, what's your argument?
RG3 takes care of the football. I would rather have RG3 on my team at this point.
Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
And you're just crediting the defense that keeps him in the game. If he's turning
I'm-
over the
I'm
ball 3 or
about
4 times a game, you got to credit the Colts defense
yeah,
for
I'm
being able
about
to keep
to-
them in the game.
Like I said, I'm about to get to that. Here is my, because I'm really conflicted on this, and each time I hear a point, I get pulled either way on here. But here's what I see: 2 great quarterbacks, 2 different quarterbacks. I don't think Andrew Luck could run RG3's offense, and I don't think RG3. Actually, now that I'm thinking, I think RG3 is intelligent enough where he could run Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck's smarter than RG3 by far. He went to Stanford and graduated.
It has nothing
That's
to do
not-
with
I'm talking about football IQ.
His football IQ's off the fucking charts.
So is
He remembered the
RG3's.
playbook after fucking one day. They gave it to him and he remembered it. They said that in training camp. He came back the next day and could call
Okay,
every play
he's
in it.
smart. We get that.
RG3's smart too. That's why they drafted him. Yeah, he went to Stanford. He's great at geography. I care if he throws a football. You know,
And he can throw one pretty good.
What did he major in? Like architect?
The architecture.
Yeah, that's either here nor there.
yeah.
Oh, so he's dumb because to be smart.
Did I
It's
say
irrelevant.
dumb?
It's irrelevant if he has a PhD.
They're both
It's-
smart, so
It
you can't
doesn't matter if he has a
separate
PhD
That-
in fucking
and I
office. It
didn't
doesn't
say
matter.
that.
So why couldn't Andrew Luck run RG3's offense?
He's not as athletic as RG3.
He's pretty athletic.
He's pretty athletic.
He could run that
But
offense.
not
Not-
as
not-
effective.
Not
as
the
effective.
option way, but he could run the dump downs and the screens and stuff.
That's what I think that's the point he's trying to get at. I don't think he could he's not an option quarterback, obviously.
Well, no.
I mean, he's really athletic, yes, but
I'm not taking him.
That's
like
going to hurt RG3 in the long run, though, because how long is he going to be able to
I
stay
don't
healthy?
think
We've
so.
already seen it this
I
year.
don't think so.
Seen it.
That was a
his last injury. That wasn't.
That was a
because-
freak accident.
What about the
he
first one?
he went down. What first?
That was
The
that,
concussion.
that,
No,
was,
that
that
was-
was inexperience.
That was
That
it. I'll give you inexperience. Then he went down. Granted, it was a halfway. I'm gonna try to dive to get the first down, and I'm gonna slide. And then you have 300 pounds of Haloti Nada coming down on you, and your knee just saying no. That's essentially.
All
what
right,
happened.
so okay, we got to that. What's your pick?
Well,
What's your pick?
let me get my
RG3.
argument without Steven interrupting everybody every 5 minutes. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Hamlin.
You have RG3.
Showtime.
What?
Shut up.
Our arguments.
You have Mr. Efficient. Efficiency, you cannot ignore that stat. The gaudy efficiency. He is efficient. You can't argue that. Andrew Luck, not quite as efficient. More of a gunslinger. Throws the rock around a lot. He throws a
Are you
lot.
leaving?
I see my.
See you later, babe.
Bye.
Okay.
He forces the ball a lot, but I think, again, I'll take Andrew Luck's forced ball trait, let's put it that way, and I'll compare it to RG3's reckless trait on there. But one thing that I see the difference in them is coaching. I made this argument. Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan, their system offense is what has really, really contributed to RG3's efficiency and success. For the simple fact, look at the great game where you say that RG3 is. They even talked about it after this game, him being in the MVP talks on this. I thought it was ridiculous, but it really sparked it. It was against the Giants. They ran the crap out of the option, old school option. When you have great pass rushers like Jason Pierre-Paul,
Who's your pick?
let me get to my
RG3.
point. No.
Sorry.
Jason Pierre-Paul and Justin Tuck and Osia Manira. Coaching has done that. I wouldn't want RG3. I don't want to give him the ball and say, run this offense. I'll say, I have cancer, run it. That's basically what Chuck Pagano has done with Andrew Luck. He has been more valuable to his team than RG3 is. For that reason right there. Andrew
The
Luck,
offensive coordinator's still there.
So you're picking Andrew Luck?
I'm picking Andrew
Then
Luck.
why did you argue my points when I gave Andrew Luck? Like you're going to pick RG3? That confused me.
I disagree with that. I mean, the offensive coordinator's still there.
And Bruce Arians has done a really good
Bruce
job.
Arians should probably be coach of the year.
He deserves it. I agree.
So I don't think that's true about he just gave it to Andrew Luck because Bruce Arians.
Well,
The
here's what I'm
option quarterback thing, we've already seen it with Cam Newton. We've already seen it with Tim Tebow. It's not. I mean, it's impressive, but it's not like he's the only person that's running.
So that's another reason why I'm saying it. It's good coaching. Why he's efficient? They don't give
I
him.
don't know if that's good coaching. The coach gave up on him like 4 weeks ago. He's like, yeah, we're looking forward to next year. So I that's bogus. I don't give any credit
I'm
to
saying
Mike
play
Shanahan.
calling. Play calling, great play
coach.
calling.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan.
And I'll give you Kyle Shanahan, great play calling. Preparing a game plan.
How is it great play calling if you have RG3 in your backfield?
RG3 in your
That
backfield.
makes life a lot easier. as a
They don't
coach.
let him make. They don't give him the opportunity to make mistakes.
He's running a read option. The ball. He's making.
He's
Decisions
an option
the
quarterback.
whole
He's a
game.
natural scrambler making
Yeah,
decisions.
and the ball
on
is
that.
in his hand the
But
whole
I'm
game.
saying what I want RG.
He may not throw the ball as much as Andrew Luck, but the ball is in his
interceptions.
hands.
How often would interceptions happen against the Giants who have Jason Pierre-Paul, Osi Manure, and Justin Tuck? Granted, he's a fast cat, but Jason Pierre-Paul is a freak of nature, and
Yeah, he has to play him twice a year.
him putting pressure.
Didn't they already beat him once?
Yes, they beat him. That's what I'm saying. Good coaching. They took Jason Pierre-Paul, they took Osi Manure, and they took Justin Tuck out of the equation by running the offense. What makes their defense run? What gives them a high caliber defense? I don't give them a top 5 defense because the play of Corey Webster has been awful. They have a terrible secondary. They need to improve it. Prince Amukamara can't stay healthy, but that's neither here nor there. They took their best players. They took their strength, and they used it as a weakness. That Giants pass rush. Great play calling. They took the natural.
Giants press rush hasn't been.
They haven't been good all year. Their leading sacker has 6.5, and they haven't played the Redskins every game. So where were they at in the other games? Was that the
I
other?
see great play calling. I don't know what. Again, you're arguing my point on there. I'm saying Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck with 40 seconds left, running that hurry up offense is phenomenal to watch. Granted, Reggie Wayne helped out a lot.
Oh, you're telling me RG3 can't run it? It's contrary because he beat the Bucks earlier this year doing that. I know for a fact because I watched that, and he did it against.
He almost beat the Giants twice.
He should have beat the Giants.
But
yeah.
Eli hit that 80-yard pass,
Yeah.
80-yard pass to Victor Cruz where their defense
I would
did
take
nothing.
RG3 over the 2 minute because he has that run pass option. Because if you're going to try to drop everybody back, then you got the.
But one
the threat
thing,
of him
one
running.
thing that I almost want to come back to RG3. That one thing I've left out is when you said that is defense.
The Redskins' defense is atrocious.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
So who are you picking? You're flip flopping here.
I'm sticking
You're
with
hedging,
Andrew Luck.
He's hedging his bet over here. Is it? Are you going to stay with the fact that you said earlier that Chuck Pagano gave it over to Andrew Luck, which is completely? They still have their offensive coordinator, or are you going to say RG3 here? I mean, you keep. It seems like you're flip flopping on us.
I told you
He's ready to flip a coin and just take whatever it gets.
That's what I'm saying. Like this one,
So-
I've
so do
I've
you
never
think that-
been so indecisive.
So would you be fine with a co-MVP?
I would, if that was possible.
No.
I-
It's possible it's happening in the
Only
NBA.
thing that should be that should even be considered, like you said, is the.
Co-comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, Peyton Manning should be
They
co-comeback players of the
both
year.
deserve it.
They both deserve it. I agree.
Without
All
a
right.
shadow of a doubt.
Defensive player of the year.
Alden Smith.
Probably
No.
J.J. Watt.
No, I'll give you J.J. Watt. The reason why.
Von Miller.
No, J.J. Watt.
I'd say J.J. Watt.
He creates a lot of interceptions with his passes.
He doesn't have to put up the stats.
Even though he does 16.5 sacks.
Yeah, and all his pass deflections.
Oh,
But
God,
nobody alters a game plan more than J.J. Watt this year. I mean, there's no argument
And
to
he
that.
really with that front seven, it's only him in that front seven.
Yeah, that defense
With Brian Cushing gone-
This goes back to my point about Adrian Peterson. You take J.J. Watt off that Houston Texan defense, and they're probably 20. They're probably like
And
20.
You almost said Testies. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I would Texans. The Texans defense.
All they have is Jonathan Joseph, and he's been disappointing this year.
Jonathan, they're secondary. Everybody on that team except J.J. Watt and maybe Connor Barwin have.
Well, Brian Cushing is good, but he hasn't been there.
I don't care who wins out of those three. They're all good.
Granted, Alden.
Von Miller, Alden Smith, and J.J. Watt.
But
they're
one
all
reason,
good.
one reason
What
I
if
wouldn't.
Alden Smith breaks the sack record, though? He's got 19.5.
You know why?
J.J. Watt.
But think
he
about
plays
it.
on such a good defense.
You got to worry about Justin Smith. Like we got to worry about Justin Smith on
They
that.
were
That
so
takes
good they
it
couldn't
takes
shut
a
down
lot.
the Rams.
Yeah,
And also the best middle linebacker in the game plays on that defense.
Two
Two of the best.
two of the
LeVar
best.
Bowman
That's what I'm
might
saying.
be better than Patrick Willis now.
No, Patrick. He just like I said. They open stuff up for each other. You have to worry about everyone
One
on
of
the
the best
defense.
defensive linemen, too. Justin Smith's good.
I just said,
He just said
that's
that.
why I
Oh, I
said.
didn't hear you say Justin
That's
Smith.
why I don't
He's
want to
good.
give it to Alden Smith, even if he breaks the sack record.
You, the one that suggested Alden Smith.
I put him up in the argument. I said J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is defensive player.
I'm fine.
16 and a half
I don't
sacks.
care who wins out of them three. They're all good. It doesn't matter.
You gotta pick somebody.
I like Von Miller.
Elvis Dumervil.
Yeah, Champ Bailey's still
Champ
out
Bailey.
there doing his thing. Gonna
With
get
his wheelchair, he's rolling out there, dude.
Oh,
Tracy
he's
Porter,
still-
the first 5 games of the season was, he surprised me. Tracy Porter
The
is
safety-
He's
safety
in
play.
16 games long, not 5.
the safety play from the Broncos too.
The Cardinals were 4-0 to start the season. It's longer than 4 or 5 games.
I'm just saying that they have more help on the defense.
J.J. Watt is the use.
Okay, I'll give you J.J. Watt. I'm fine with that.
Are you gonna?
No, I'm not
pick J.J.
changing.
Watt?
I like Von Miller, man. That's my guy.
I got him to change on Adrian.
I'm not
Peterson.
changing.
I think I got him to
Von
change on RG3 too. Did I get you to change on
you
RG3?
convinced?
I
it
made
right now?
myself change because of defense. I
Oh,
forgot.
so you said RG3?
I told you. I
I
said
got him
defense.
to change twice.
You didn't get me to change. I changed my own.
Got that.
I changed my own mind on here because
You're not changing my mind on any of them.
that doesn't make sense.
What did you pick for MVP?
Hey, man.
Okay. Yeah, I still think it should be Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson's valuable.
Yeah.
That,
Oh,
if they get to the
you know-
playoffs, he might win it.
Do what?
If they get to the playoffs, Adrian Peterson might win it, but I don't think he will.
I think he should win it regardless. They're in contention, so that's all you can ask.
NFC's wide open.
That's all you can ask for a running back in this day and age, because this
You
is a
can't ask
passing.
much. There's like 4 elite running backs.
I wouldn't
Adrian
say
Pe-
that.
Adrian Peterson, Arian Foster, Ray Rice.
There's
That's
one.
about
There's one franchise running back in the NFL right now. That's Adrian Peterson.
Aaron Foster's not.
I don't think he's he's a good running back, but he's not
Ray
a
Rice.
franchise running back.
Ray Rice isn't.
I wouldn't mind say Ray Rice, but there's one clear cut franchise running back in the NFL. I think Trent Richardson might be one day. But
Grant, I read an interesting
Doug
article.
Martin might be too.
I
Doug
don't
Martin.
think so. I think he's just a fad. You know about these fad running backs.
That's what I
They
think.
come and
RG3
go,
And
they-
Cam Newton are going to be
They
now.
come and go in 2 or 3 years.
I don't
Just
think
like
so.
running Quarterbacks.
Chris Johnson. No, Michael Vick's still plugging along. I think if Michael Vick gets on a good team,
I wish
you.
Michael Vick or Tim Tebow go to the Chiefs.
To me, like what I saw at Doug Martin, I was impressed with him. What I really saw, like, wow, he's great because I've always hated anything that came out of Boise State, just about. I mean,
I can't argue that.
yeah, because anything that's normally came out of Boise State has been a disappointment.
Ian Johnson.
Yeah, it's like everything that's come out of there has been a disappointment. But the bowl game, I saw Doug Martin. I saw an elite running back. He reminded me of Ray Rice, a lot of that. Just short style, but he plays explosive. You know, they call him the muscle hamster.
He does have a cool nickname.
Yeah, I'm saying. Like, Doug Martin, to me, I think he can be a franchise. I don't think he's just a fad because he has the whole package to me.
Adrian Peterson is the only franchise running back.
You know who's not a franchise running back and thinks he is? Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson.
We all said that.
One thing I'll give Chris Johnson, though, his offensive line has been atrocious for the Titans. They've been terrible. But a franchise running back would do without.
I got a question
Adrian
for you.
Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Better future, Andrew Luck or RG3?
RG3 has a higher ceiling, obviously. He's more athletic. He's a world-class athlete. If you got a world-class
At the
athlete,
end
they're
of their
always gonna have a higher
At the end
ceiling.
of their career, do you think both of them have a Super Bowl?
I do.
Both of them?
I'll
I
see.
do. I think
I
this
see
is
him
this
facing
has
off
the
with Super Bowl.
possibly the best draft class since that Elway.
The 80, the
Elway, Marino,
83?
83.
83 with Elway, Marino.
Jim
and
Kelly.
Jim Kelly, 4 Super Bowls, but he lost, but he was a Hall of Famer. He's good.
I think this has the potential to be that kind of.
Ryan
I think
Tannehill-
Tannehill's. I think he's got a bright future.
I like Nick Foles a little bit, too.
I think.
The only one I really don't think has a bright future is Brandon Whedon.
Well,
And that's not-
he
that's
doesn't
not-
have much of a future left.
Oh, what is he, like 39 now?
Pretty close to it.
One thing I like. I'm not even seeing this as an OK State guy because I didn't think Brandon Whedon would do this.
Are you OK
Oh.
State guy today?
I've always been. What are you talking about?
He flip flops on his teams too.
When have I ever flip flopped on this?
Except Patriots, you consistent with your
Yeah,
Patriots.
it's like, what about flip flop?
You kind of went away from the Heat to the Thunder. That was a flip flop.
Because we'll get in that argument later. Of
You
why.
did flip flop. Don't lie. Just admit it.
I'll admit I flipped to
You
a Thunder.
bandwagon to Thunder.
I didn't bandwagon. They're the only Oklahoma team, and you can't.
If they sucked, would you like them as much?
Yes.
I don't think so. I'm gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
We'll get to that.
I was
We'll
an
get to
Oklahoma State fan. I've always been an Oklahoma
You
State
have
fan.
been, but
He has been.
but I see. I thought Notre Dame. You know, there's a little trend of Notre Dame in there.
I've never liked Notre
You
Dame.
played with them on the NCAA game.
Because that's a football game.
No,
He's
I mean,
my favorite
I thought I heard him say that they like Notre Dame though.
I like Manny Te'o. I don't like Notre Dame.
Yeah, Teo was good.
Yeah, that's
He's
the only
not
one I've
Johnny
said.
Manziel.
I do. I've never once rooted for Notre Dame. Actually, I have rooted for them, and not as like I don't go by.
You're half and half now. You know
That's
longer.
not my fault though.
That's not your fault. I'll give you that. Georgia OU.
If anything, I'm a half and half as an Arkansas fan and an Oklahoma State fan. Arkansas is not my fault. Look at my Stephen knows
Born
my
in the
father.
blood.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the
I almost
Yeah.
I almost bandwagoned once in college football. I did for a whole game.
Mm.
I became a Texas fan when I watched Vince Young win the national championship.
Yeah.
Best game I ever watched.
You
But-
think Vince Young's gonna get another job?
No.
He's begging for it.
I mean,
But
right
anyway,
now,
but-
me being a Kansas City fan, I wish we had him.
But back on topic, Brandon Whedon. Greg Little has not helped Brandon Whedon. He is the best receiver and the worst receiver at the same time. He is the worst case.
Dax Krebs. What happened to him?
He's
The
not really.
coaches
a
don't
receiver.
like him. The two, one you
Apparently
don't.
neither
You
does
don't
Roger
want.
Goodell taking the kickoffs out.
You don't want to. To me, I don't care what you do as your job. You don't whine to the media. You're a grown ass man. You do not whine to the media. You don't say, "I want more playing time." Go earn your playing time. Be better at receiver. You're not great at receiver. Great returner. Great special teamer. Not that great of a receiver. With that speed and that agility, how are you not better? Anyway, that's not my point. Greg Little, to me, he's a worst case scenario.
Talking about
12.
Josh Cribbs, not how are you not better? A
Yeah.
lot of kick returners aren't good at receiver. Dante Hall wasn't good. Devin Hester wasn't good.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing that. I
Don't
don't
make him a point for the dream team. Battle with that. Just because you're fast doesn't make you good. Or can jump
This
high.
stay on topic.
Hold on, I watched Dream Team.
Stay on
highlights.
topic.
This is just.
This
a
is
good
off
topic.
topic.
I
We'll
watched
get
Dream Team
stay on
highlights.
topic.
Yeah, let's go to basketball.
I'm not done.
What do you guys think?
No, I got
It's
one
not
more
the best
topic of
way.
football. We'll get there.
Let's hear it.
Anyway,
We can talk baseball next.
I'm not. I'll leave.
No baseball.
Huh?
They don't want to hear baseball.
No one wants to hear baseball. Greg Little
Pete Rose
is
should be in the Hall of Fame.
is Terrell Owens watered down.
Let's get to the next topic because I really don't give a fuck about Greg Little. And that's
We were talking about Brandon Whedon.
Brandon
Every
Whedon
time-
has been better than I thought he would be, but I really don't give a fuck about
You know,
Greg Little.
you were really terrible at debate because you let nobody talk, and that's why
That's
no
part of
one's gonna.
debating.
No,
You're fucking
supposed to
rude.
let
You've
the guy
never-
say-
yeah,
you gotta-
you're
you gotta
horrible
make
at
his
it.
argument.
Do you want to hear about Greg Little?
No,
You didn't let me finish my
honestly, no.
argument about Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon's better than I thought he would be too. I agree with you.
Then let me get on with Greg Little. You have receivers. Do you realize that a quarterback is a throw the ball to a receiver, and that generally affects
What
stats?
about Josh Gordon? He's been really good this year.
That's not my argument of what. Josh Gordon has been a flash in the pan. I think he's a flash in the pan. That's just me. Greg Little drops. The Ravens should have lost the first game against Cleveland, but he dropped the ball. And that makes Brandon Whedon look
Should
bad.
be Philadelphia too. Man, the Cleveland Browns are.
I think they're gonna-
They're
they're
2
gonna-
years away from being a playoff team.
I've said that argument. I think they're 2 drafts away in an off season.
I think they go next year.
That's
They've been
possible.
so close this year in
Mhm.
so many games.
You know what? If they win out and a bunch of the AFC teams lose, they still have a chance.
Nah,
What 2 teams do you think? Like, give me your Super Bowl preview. Let's say the playoff picture. That's be our last NFL topic. What do you see the Super Bowl face off?
I'd probably say the 49ers are going to come out of the NFC. And for the AFC, I don't see very many good teams. I mean, I think if the Ravens get healthy, I think they'll make a run.
So is that who you're picking?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens.
Give me a score on who wins the Super Bowl. The winner and a score.
San Francisco
I'll
by a
take,
blowout.
I'll take,
with
I'll
that
take,
scenario.
I'll take San Francisco.
In a blowout with that scenario.
You're not letting me finish.
You're doing the same thing I did.
Yeah. Would be rude. I think it'd be 28-17 San Francisco. Because I don't believe in Flacco.
I don't believe in
I think they should
I don't
be
believe
they
in
should be
Flacco
giving
enough
the ball.
to get there, but
They should be giving their all. That's what I'm saying. If their defense gets healthy, if they have Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis, I think they're going to make a run. Because they should have beat the Patriots last year. It's a pure fluke that they lost to the Patriots. First of all, that should have been a touchdown catch. And then second of all, that was a chip shot field goal the guy should have made. That's why he's not playing now for the Ravens. But those are, you know.
that's a good reason why, because they really should have been in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. So I think
And they probably would have won it last year if they got there.
yeah, I think they would too.
That was a really talented team last year.
Same team this year. I mean, they don't have Webb. They're not going to get Webb back.
Which is a big loss.
That's going to hurt them. But
He's
I
a
think if
good
they
player.
have Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs out there, they're going to make a run.
It's a good point.
I think with the firing of Cam Cameron too, I think that's going to put the focus. They're going to get the ball more in Ray Rice's hands. I think that firing is what they needed.
I'm not wrong with that pick.
Steven?
My preseason pick was the Broncos and Bears, but the Bears aren't getting there. NFC is probably the 49ers. I agree with you, especially with Kaepernick in there. I think
Kaepernick gives them that extra edge.
Kaepernick gives them the extra edge. I agree. They'll probably get there. Like you said, AFC is hard. I don't think the Texans can do it. Personally, I don't think the Ravens can do it because I just don't think they can. I'm not a believer in Flacco at all. I don't even know if the Steelers are going to make the playoffs.
He played really good in the playoffs last year, though. That's what makes me believe that.
Yeah, he outperformed Tom Brady in that game.
He did. He outperformed everybody in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, he had a bad game against the Texans,
but they still won.
That's expected to be a defensive struggle.
I think AFC's probably a two-man race between the Broncos and Patriots. And I still think the Broncos will get there, but I probably think they're going to lose the 49ers. I would say...
Oh, you say you're picking the Broncos and 49ers?
Yeah, I'd say the 49ers probably win 27-14.
I think Peyton Manning would put up more than that.
I don't know. It's a pretty good defense.
It's a good defense, but it's been vulnerable.
He's not a good playoff quarterback.
He's been the 49ers have been pretty vulnerable at times this year.
I really think that's what happened.
If it wasn't the Ravens, I'd probably say the Broncos too.
But you know,
because they would have home field advantage. People
you're talking
about
Mile
High.
You're talking about you think that Peyton Manning would put up more numbers than that. Well, the first Super Bowl with Tom Brady, when they had that record-setting offense, you thought he'd put up more points than he did against the Giants. You know what I'm saying? It's how the defense steps up to it, and I think the 49ers have the defense to step up to his level.
Yeah, the 49ers and Ravens both should have been in the Super Bowl last year. It's complete flukes that both of them missed out.
I think the 49ers are going to beat the Broncos this year.
Huh?
The 49ers will beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl this year. That's my pick.
Yeah, I think if it was Alex Smith, I don't think they'd get there, but I think Kaepernick gives them...
He's going through rough times right now at the beginning, but by the time the playoffs come, he'll be ready. He's not a bad
It's not the problem. I think they're just coddle them into it, and when it comes time, they need to open it up. They'll open it up because they're really dependent on the intermediate passing game, and I think they're really going to open it up.
I want to see more Vernon Davis in that all because to me, even with the young quarterback, you would think Vernon Davis, tight ends being
he has been featured more since Kaepernick's been
there. So I'm saying more Vernon Davis. He's the fastest.
Well, they have two really good tight ends too.
I will give you that. They have
Walker's good.
Delaney Walker is a fullback. He is a tight end. To me, he does more in that offense.
What I want to see more in that offense is Randy Moss.
Oh yeah, I think they've been saving him too. The 49ers are loaded. I mean, they've been holding.
Frank Gore's a great bag.
I'm not,
and they're deep at running back too.
They're extremely.
I'm not impressed with. I'm not impressed as much with their passing game as you guys are.
Well, because they've been holding it back. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm impressed.
I have to see it, but my two on here, I think you guys know I'm going 49ers and Patriots. This is new to me. Patriots, I actually did not think they're good. I had advantage Broncos because that Broncos defense has been fantastic. But here is where I think, especially after watching the Texas game, and how much that Bill Belichick has done with that defense. Getting Aqib Talib has helped out a lot, where we can man up one-on-one on good receivers. We slide Devin McCourty over to strong safety, take out Patrick Chung and his horrible decision-making. Patrick Chung is one of our biggest busts of all, the last 10 years. Huh?
You said R.
Patriots fan, sorry. I consider them my team, He's been a major bust.
Kraft.
Yeah. Fantastic in run support, terrible in pass coverage. It's opened up that a lot. And I actually think that the Patriots can win by a small margin, and here's why. Well, you could call me wrong.
Against the Broncos or against 49ers?
49ers.
Oh, so you were expecting the Patriots Super Bowl?
To beat the Broncos. Yeah, I was expecting the Patriots Super Bowl. The offense, granted they opened up the passing game a little more, but right now, the way their offense is playing now, I have to see more. I haven't seen it. So I'm going purely off what I've seen. That offense runs through Frank Gore. Play action, everything. It opens up everything. And I'm going to see the same thing what the Patriots did with the Houston Texans. They're going to shut down Frank Gore. And the reason why is you may hate the Patriots. We have fantastic linebackers. And Gerard Mayo having an all-pro season. Brandon Spikes and Dante Hightower. Vince Wilfork is going to plug up that running game.
Tom Brady hasn't showed up to the playoffs these last couple of years, though. Like, he's been average at best. Like, he was completely outplayed by Flacco last year.
But one
And
reason...
the year before,
but
the
these
Ravens-
last-
But you know the difference now, and you guys could say this on there, and you guys even brought up this point. One reason why that Tom Brady has been played average at best is because we haven't had a running game to lean on. And like I've said before, the
They had
running
the same
game...
running game last year.
No, we did not.
They-
No,
they
We
wasn't
had
as
Ridley
good.
last year, didn't they?
Yeah,
No.
but he wasn't this effective. He was hurt or something, or they just didn't play him.
Well, he was hurt most of the year. Him and Shane Vereen were both hurt their rookie years. All we had was Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, then. Who isn't...
Who never fumbled there.
Who's nothing...
He's not a bad option. Look what he's doing for the Bengals. I'm
1,000-yard running
surprised.
To me, he's not Stephen Ridley. I would take Stephen Ridley now.
But they still... Well, here's the thing.
I don't think their running game's that much different. It may be slightly better.
Here's the
but-
thing.
We weren't top 5 in rushing.
Here's
Last year.
the thing with the Patriots and the 49ers matchup. Stephen Ridley's not going to run on the 49ers at all.
I don't think that the...
Well, we're going to get to see this week.
Yeah, I don't think the 49ers are going to run on the Patriots. And if I have to depend on that passing game, the 49ers are prolific because of their front seven. If we can stop Alden Smith and Justin Smith, which we've stopped J.J. Watt, who to me I think is tremendous.
We know what he's saying.
Just
Let him
move
talk.
on. Yeah.
I'm trolling.
When it comes to two people passing, I'm taking that Patriots 36 points a game over Colin Kaepernick. Granted, Colin Kaepernick's great, but we have a secondary that stepped it up. Alfonso Denard, he's a steal in the 7th round. I'm taking the Patriots.
Patriots have to go in the road in the playoffs. They're not going to win.
I think they can beat the 49ers and they'll get home field advantage. Houston Texans will lose one of those games.
They got to worry about the Broncos, too, don't they?
Broncos are going to win home field advantage.
We're already ahead of them. And
Patriots are going to lose this week to the 49ers, and the Broncos are going to still have home field by winning out.
I tell you this, if the 49ers win...
If we beat the 49ers, we have it locked up. No, we don't. Because Houston Texans is still a game ahead, but the Houston Texans will lose to the Colts one of those games.
You don't know that the Patriots will win their last 2 games. No matter who they play. They lost to the Cardinals. Anybody can beat anybody on any Sunday.
I'll give you that. But I'm saying if the Patriots beat the 49ers, I'm saying them getting home field advantage. Broncos can lose too if you're going to put that scenario.
Well, they can.
They can. But if they
The
beat...
Patriots have been beneficial to Patsy's schedule this year, too.
Yeah, they had the number 1 easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah, I think
That was fact. It came out and they said that they had the easiest
they
schedule.
They play in the worst division of football.
The Broncos isn't anything to sniff at either.
Well, I guess that's somewhat true.
I think it's the AFC, because AFC has clear-cut division standouts.
Broncos played harder
NFC
NFC opponents.
Yeah.
Oakland, really?
No,
NFC
he's talking about.
opponents.
He's talking.
Oh, NFC. To me, like I said, I'm not even going to argue about that one, but NFC is more elite than the AFC is right now. There's 5 teams that are just clear-cut standouts in the AFC. NFC is pretty
There's
much
not
still...
5. There's 3. Maybe there's 4.
I'm giving
standouts.
benefits of the doubt. You know, as I'm
To the Colts?
Actually, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I was giving the Colts as standouts. You know, they could compete in the NFC. Is what I'm saying.
They're not the defense,
They don't have the defense. I said NFC is eons ahead of the AFC.
which makes the argument for RG3 even more valid too. Just throwing that out there.
And Adrian Peterson.
I think we're all in agreement on that. NFC is the superior.
There's no debating that. It's fact.
I know.
This year they
I
are
didn't say it.
clear
That's
cut.
why I said we all agree.
NFC's pretty deep.
That's what I'm saying. And AFC.
But there are AFC teams that could compete over there.
That's what I'm saying. But there's
But
only
not many.
There's
I
only.
don't think so.
You don't think the Broncos could?
I think there's 4 teams that can.
The Ravens, Broncos,
Patriots and
and
Texans.
I don't know if Texans can. I've seen them play the
When
Packers. Wow.
The Texans are the worst big game team. That's why I think they'll get ousted probably in their
To
first
me,
game.
it's not.
first game.
It's not so much the Texans as it is Matt Schaub. Watching, to me, that Patriots blowout shouldn't have been a rout.
Their defense
It
is
should not
atrocious,
have
too.
been a rout.
No defense has fallen off. That's a problem.
They only have one player, like you said earlier.
Oh, I said, well, Matt Schaub killed it for him in the first place. It could have been a shootout. Arian Foster, they ran, they floated him out out the receiver, and when you see a rookie linebacker, one-on-one, and Arian Foster in man coverage, you're not going to take that matchup. there was a C in there where Arian Foster, which he's very good at the passing game, floated out in the middle on a curl-up route right there, a C open, and he didn't check down, and he forces it to Kevin Walter. Matt Schaub lost that game more than anybody. And I've always been on Matt Schaub's side, but he solidified everyone's argument that he is not a franchise quarterback with that game, in a big game situation.
Either way, I don't think they're going to win a big game, no matter whose fault it is. They just buckle under pressure.
If they had Brian Cushing, I think that'd help out a lot, that defense.
They shouldn't have traded D'Amico Ryan. They probably should
I
have
agree
signed
with
Mario Williams, too.
I think they should.
He's grossly underachieved this year.
He has over 10 sacks, though.
He's underachieved. That whole Buffalo Bill.
Oh, I know.
You have Mark Anderson, Marcel Darius, and Mario Williams, and you're not the most feared defensive line in the AFC. That's a problem.
They've completely misused Spiller too. He should be.
They have
the featured back.
They have two good players on that whole team.
C.J. Spiller and
Stevie Johnson.
Stevie Johnson.
He hadn't done too much this year either.
Look who his quarterback is.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's not bad. He's
I
average.
would take him over Matt Schaub right now.
No.
I probably would. I don't.
You would take Fitzpatrick over Schaub?
Yeah.
I don't have any faith in Schaub. I never have.
What gives you faith in Fitzpatrick?
What
What
other receiver does he have besides Stevie Johnson?
No.
Who, to me, Stevie Johnson is a middle tier.
Nelson?
Who's that?
David Nelson?
I know he is. I'm just
okay.
being sarcastic.
I'm
being sarcastic. Yeah.
He could potentially have the best running game in the NFL. I mean,
With C.J. Spiller,
they need to feature C.J. Spiller.
They are this week.
And then spell. Well, they have to. They don't have a choice.
I'm hoping.
And then spell in with Fred Jackson, and I think that would be more effective. But
Because to me, C.J. Spiller is what Chris Johnson should be.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Chris Johnson's ran for over 2,000 yards before. I haven't seen.
Now, current Chris Johnson.
Oh, this Chris Johnson's dumb.
That's what I'm saying. He's not as fast as Chris Johnson, but he's
pretty fast.
I'm saying, but he's not Chris Johnson. But to me, there's game speed and there's flat out running speed.
So, okay, so you got Patriots over 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I got 49ers over Broncos. You got
49ers
Niners over Ravens. So we all agree that 49ers today, we just have three different people getting there to play them. And me and you both pick 49ers.
49ers
Patriots.
yeah, I think
And I'm granted, like I'm not saying I'm not saying the Patriots. I'm saying Patriots by this much. If the 49ers win, I would not feel like, I was totally wrong.
I think out of those three scenarios, I think that the most blowout prone would be with the Patriots, in my opinion, because Tom Brady he turns into a completely different quarterback if he's rushed.
Okay.
Not J.J. Watt was in his grill the entire game.
That's one guy. If you have a collective pass rush after Tom Brady, look what happened to him against Baltimore last year. Look what happened to him against
the year before with Baltimore.
Yeah.
But again, the running game is going to slow down that pass rush.
I don't think they're going to be able to run on the 49ers. I think that's the most...
Patrick Willis and NaVar Bowman are going to be standing right there saying, Stephen Ridley, welcome to the NFL. You ain't played anyone like us yet.
I think that's the most prone because obviously the Broncos are a lot more balanced, I think, and I just think Peyton Manning would be able to handle
balanced
that.
where offensively?
Yeah, I think
Patriots are statistically the most balanced offense in the NFL.
Well, that also goes back to their patsy schedule they played this year. They're obviously going to put up more numbers.
I think the Broncos.
If they play the Jets twice, look how many points and numbers they put up against the Jets in that one Thanksgiving game. I mean, they've played them twice this year. And then, speaking of that, the Jets should have beat them the first game.
Even though the Chiefs' record is worse than the Jets, I think if they played this week, Chiefs could beat the Jets, and they're probably one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, the AFC East.
Because the Jets have no run defense. And
The AFC cheats. The Jets.
The Jeets.
I think that, they're 7-9. They're still in playoff contention.
They're not. That would be a full 16-game season. They're 5-7.
Okay, my bad. They're 5-7.
Because they're in the same weak division.
Yeah, they're in playoff contention because they're in such a weak division. That's
you got in the AFC West. You got Oakland Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs, and San Diego Chargers. And you're complaining about the AFC East.
They're tougher teams than the other teams.
No, they're not.
The other teams only have more.
I would take the AFC West.
The only reason the other teams.
Yeah,
by far.
No, I wouldn't.
The worst teams.
Miami.
Look at the AFC West.
Miami's
at the
not.
AFC West quarterback compared to the AFC East quarterbacks, and that's the end of the discussion. That's all that needs to be
Philip
said.
Rivers is quality.
Philip Rivers,
And
you're
so
going
is
to give me
Carson
him
Palmer.
over Mark Sanchez
And Ryan Fitzpatrick and Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill's
I would
more-
take Carson Palmer over all those three.
And
Carson
Phillip
Palmer,
Rivers.
to me, Carson
Yeah,
Palmer
yeah,
is the
Carson-
reason why Oakland has even won anything.
Yeah.
And they've been
Yeah.
hating on that. Like I said, I'll give you Carson Palmer. I'll take Carson Palmer over Phillip Rivers right now. Phillip
No,
Rivers is
that's-
not impressed
That's
me.
what
I think that a backup in the AFC West at quarterback is better than some of the AFC East.
Better than
I think
Mike
Terrell
Sanchez.
Pryor. I think Terrell Pryor is going to be better than Ryan Fitzpatrick and them. He's the same thing as Cam Newton. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I mean the AFC East quarterback play it's unfathomable how bad it is.
And look how bad the Jets' defense is without
But
the
besides San Diego, I'll take the AFC East's defense over the AFC West. Oakland, horrendous.
Broncos. Or well, I guess you're
I'm talking about
the
I'm talking about the rest of the competition. San
Kansas
Diego.
City Chiefs defense is pretty good.
They can get after the quarterback.
Their
A
pass
lot of their
rush is on
games
the-
that
they've
they
been thrown
lost
all
was
over.
because their offense. They've been on the field. the whole game.
They got to be on the field all game.
They're
I'd
on the
take Kansas.
field 3/4 of the game. That's not that defense's
Grant,
fault.
Justin Houston and Tom Bali are great pass
Brandon
rushers.
Flowers is a good corner,
They
but
got
when
a
you get
good
thrown
line.
on that many times, what can you
They have a
do?
good
Eric
linebacking
Berry?
core.
Eric Berry's quality.
Their linebacking core is pretty solid too. It's just a really
Derek
solid
Johnson could still be a Pro Bowler this year. That's how good he is, and he was an All-Pro linebacker last year over your Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, I think
That's how Derek Johnson's really good. That they have a good defense. It's just how can your defense does win championships, but when your offense
play
can't
on
even
the-
get a first down, other than Jamal
Yeah.
Charles or Dwayne Bowe, you have no
the
quality
Chiefs
players.
offense or the Jets offense are the worst offenses in the NFL. So I mean,
Maybe the Jaguars with Noah and JD.
I don't know. They've had a couple
Blake
outbursts. They've had some
Blake
outbursts
Gabbert,
this season. Though,
after
too.
he went out, Chad Henne played pretty decent.
Cecil Schwartz is sneaky good.
I like Cecil Shorts. He's really. I have his autograph card, by the way.
That's
Justin
completely-
Blackman woke up.
Then he went back to sleep because he had
Okay,
shit
you know
like
this
2
is
weeks.
bad. We're talking about the Jaguars. What do y'all think about the NBA this year?
So we're like a quarter way through. Do you want our MVP to this, or do you want what do you want here?
LeBron is MVP. At the beginning of this, I give LeBron.
This is
No,
if
I
we
think-
go
I
a
think-
quarter.
I think it's a clear-cut MVP. But go ahead.
If we go quarter way MVP, just to throw some candidates out there, because you know I'm gonna tell you a couple people, but I'll tell you who I think it is.
I think it's Carmelo Anthony. hands
Shut
down.
the fuck up, dude. I was gonna say that. All right, Carmelo's probably MVP because he changed the way he completely played. I don't like Carmelo as much as you do.
I like Melo.
I like Melo, but not like Randy does.
He's clear. He's a
He
clear-cut
changed
MVP.
his game. If I seen Carmelo from last year, he wouldn't be in my top 20 MVP voting.
But it's not. This is this.
This
year's-
is this year, and Carmelo has changed the Knicks. And really, his team really ain't as talented as they should be. He's making people around him better. Because half his team is like in a nursing home.
And now that I think of that, 'cause
Did we just change your mind again? Another Jagger mind change?
statistically, LeBron. I'm just saying,
LeBron's
but
statistically.
actually, most valuable player.
I don't know. They win games without him. They won tonight without Carmelo too.
Who do they play?
The Bulls, quality team, and they beat the Heat without him. So I mean, you could almost take that away.
Did
They
they?
beat the Heat without him. They beat him by
Well,
20
so-
without him.
Ray
Oh, he's
Allen.
on-
Ray Allen has
They
been
beat him
the
with
fountain
him
of
too,
youth.
though.
Huh?
They beat him with him too.
Yeah, both games were by 20.
See, LeBron has a better supporting cast too, though.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
good.
saying.
He has
He has two
They're
All-Stars.
not-
Ray Allen.
two All-Stars.
Dwayne
Oh,
Wade.
three. I mean, three if you want to count Ray
Chris
Allen, too.
Bosh.
There's no depth past that.
Shane Battier.
I don't know. Should we go back to the playoffs last
Shane
year?
That was
Battier.
an aberration.
Shane
Shane
Battier, Mike
Battier.
Miller hit like 9 threes in one
Aberration.
game.
Shane
I don't care
Battier.
if it's aberration or not.
He's a great
What about all
defensive
the what
player.
about all the
If
three
you
sixers this year?
if you score 27, and then even Mario Chalmers at times in the playoffs carried
Okay, I said Carmelo Anthony. Why are you arguing like I said LeBron?
because you're like arguing for LeBron.
I just said that
He likes to argue.
LeBron statistically, he's the best basketball player in the world, but he's not the most valuable to his team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He is the
Statistically,
best basketball player in the world.
statistically,
You can't
LeBron James.
He has the most God-given talent in the NBA. Yes.
He's not the most skilled, but he's the best basketball player in the world. He's definitely not the most skilled.
Yeah, I mean he has the most God-given talent. That's
Yeah,
not even
by
an
far.
argument.
He's the chosen
Mm.
one. So we both agree Carmelo?
Yeah, Melo.
Is it
Melo-
close?
Melo's-
I'll
no, it's
give
clear cut.
I'll give my vote to Melo because of most valuable to their team.
Yeah, it's,
Before we said Melo, who was you going to say, KD?
No,
gonna
I
say
said less of
LeBron.
LeBron because it's
That's
his
2 times I've changed his mind.
his statistics.
No, 3 times.
No, you didn't change my mind
You didn't
one
agree with Ray
time.
Allen.
I changed my own mind.
Adrian Peterson?
Okay.
No, that one. I'm saying that the rookie of the year. I changed my own mind because no one said this.
You were
till I said-
wishy-washy on that.
There's no
Yeah.
point in talking about rookie of the year in the NBA. It's clearly Damian Lillard.
I don't know.
Honestly, a
It's
lot
not
of
been
the
great
stuff,
rookie play.
a lot of the stuff. I've just been reading statistics and reading updates on it because I'm in football mode. I've watched one game this season. Biggest disappointment, Dwayne Wade. Give your business point. Dwayne Wade has been disappointing to me.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what disappoints me, and that's the fact that I haven't seen Rubio yet.
Now,
'Cause
biggest
it-
disappointment. I can't believe I missed this.
The LA
The
Lakers.
LA Lakers.
Don't talk about it.
The
The
LA
Lakers
Lakers.
are atrocious, and I just hope they can at least win the 8th seed.
I think they'll be fine. They got enough talent. They'll get into the playoffs,
That-
but they're going to get.
That's the
absolutely
thing where
played.
the
Okay.
NBA is turning into baseball,
Quarter-
where the first half of the season doesn't really matter that much.
Quarter way through the season, since we did MVP, give me your all NBA first team. You know, your point guard, your shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center.
Center
Nah,
Tyson Chandler.
it's too quick for that. I think NBA team should be.
Well, I know, just projecting and the way you think they're going to play out the rest of the season, what you've seen so far.
I mean, it's going to change completely. There's no
Right
reason
now,
to
it's
change.
Through
Quarter
the
of the
quarter
way.
of the way through
Quarter
the
of the
season,
way.
who has impressed you the most
Quarter
of those
away.
positions?
We're not even to the All-Star break yet.
That's halfway through the season.
It's a little before, but anyway.
They're 20 games into the season. It's an 82-game regular season. They're a quarter way through.
I mean, okay, if
You
you
need
say
a
so, it's
calculator?
pretty. No, it's just pretty. It's still extremely early for the NBA.
Okay, who's the
If
best
the
player?
Boston Celtics had a losing record at the
I
All-Star
don't care
break
about the
last
record. Who's the best point guard in the league right now?
It's Rajon Rondo.
I agree. Who's the best shooting guard?
Probably have to be Kobe this year.
I agree. Who's the best small forward? This is a tough one. Are we playing
Carmelo.
LeBron small forward, or are we
Carmelo
playing him
Anthony.
at power?
Small.
No, LeBron's played power all year.
Let's put power.
Then it'd be Carmelo Anthony then.
And then power forward would be LeBron.
I guess so.
Center
If
would
we-
be Anderson Varejao.
He's more.
I'd probably still take Dwight Howard.
I would not.
Have you not been impressed
He's
by
been
Anderson
more.
Varejao?
He's been more.
He's been good, but
Does he-
Howard still puts up the numbers. I don't care if you don't think he's been up to Dwight Howard pass or not. He's still scoring 20 points and grabbing 13
But
boards.
remember, Varejao's third in the league in player efficiency rating. And you were the one earlier making the argument for RG3 because efficiency.
I'm turning the ball over. I'm just talking about Dwight. The only of course bad thing you got with Dwight Howard is free throw shooting.
Oh, that's atrocious.
But
So you got Dwight Howard. I only
I'm
differed with
taking
you.
Dwight Howard.
I only differed with Varejao. That's the only difference I had.
he's not the defensive threat that Dwight Howard is.
So what teams that look like they're going to make the playoffs do you think will fall off?
I don't think the Warriors are going to maintain what
I
they're
don't.
doing.
I don't think they're for real either. They lost to the Magic last night.
Well, they blew out the Hawks, and that Hawks is pretty impressive.
Hawks are good. They're not going to fall off.
I
I
don't-
like what Josh Smith is doing.
They're not going to maintain what they're doing, though.
They'll be a playoff team though.
Yeah, they'll be a bad
Brooklyn. Like a fall
I like Brooklyn.
I think Brooklyn will maintain it. They got too
They're
much talent.
talented. Yeah.
It all depends if Brook Lopez stays healthy, though. That's a big if.
So we know locks in the East are like Miami,
The Knicks.
the Knicks.
I
the Nets.
expect. I don't know with the Knicks because they're still missing one of their most valuable components.
Yeah, but he could mess it all up.
That's the problem. Either he's going to mess it all up, or he's going to take them to that next level.
Two players are missing that are.
Oh
key.
yeah, Amon Shumpert. Yeah, one
Amon's
of the best on ball
But see,
defenders.
the
in
problem
league.
I see when Shumpert comes back is
That's just
no,
good. That's just going to knock
mess up
Ronnie
the-
Brewer.
No, not Ronnie Brewer. Is right now they have a lot of things where they put Jason Kidd and Raymond Felton on the court together, and that's going to mess it up. Shumpert's going to be on there with Kidd, and
I disagree.
you think that they're going to work around the rotation?
I think Ronnie Brewer is going to be the one that sees the demise of that. I think his minutes are going to.
Dwindle.
He's going to get traded, is what you're saying, basically.
He might get traded. I think he'll be the one. I don't think that they're gonna. Jason Kidd's he's like an on floor general. He's too valuable for him.
He's so good.
And then Felton's been playing pretty well this year, so I don't think.
But Amari coming back could mess it all up because he does have a me attitude, and
well,
he doesn't play defense.
It depends.
He
how
can
they-
make or break it. He's either a top 5 power forward or biggest liability on the court.
I think he's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back and destroy their season.
Well, if that's the case, then they're not going to put up with
They'll
it.
trade him.
I mean, it depends how they work him back into the rotation too. If they bring
He
him,
needs to be their sixth man.
if he comes off the bench, that's dangerous.
Which I kind of like the idea of him coming off the bench, but man, I sure do like when I see Rasheed Lawson.
Because
And
then you'll be having J.R. Smith and Amari Stoudemire come off the bench,
together, that's plenty of offense.
and they'll still probably bring Rasheed in too off the bench.
Probably play center.
I mean, yeah, that's not going to be a problem. But it depends how they work him into the rotation. I think that's more important than the way he plays, how they work him into
And
the
whether
rotation.
he accepts his role or not.
It's already came out that he said he wouldn't mind coming off the bench.
I like that out of him then because I used to like Amari when he was in Phoenix, but I haven't liked him since he went to the Knicks. But if he changes his mindset, he'll
Well,
be good there.
At Phoenix, it was Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion.
Sean
Sean
I
Marion.
disagree. Joe Johnson also played there too.
That is true.
That was a pretty stacked team.
Leandro Barbosa.
And Quentin Richardson was pretty good back in the day too.
Oh, yeah. But then Jason Richardson went there.
That was pretty
Boris
good.
Diaw was actually a player there.
Wasn't Barbosa there too?
I said Barbosa.
Barbosa was there.
And
The team that sticks out to me is Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Steve Nash, Boris Diaw, Leandro Barbosa, right there. To me,
Boris Diaw was actually kind of good there.
and to me, that is Steve Nash facilitating. When Amari Stoudemire gets facilitated, to me, he does better. Where I see him where he messes stuff up, I'll say, I need you to score. When we say, I need you to be Dwight Howard at Orlando.
If he comes in, is there a chance that he could set Carmelo's mindset back to where Carmelo was?
Or he didn't want to put the team on his back?
I don't think so.
Wanna be
They're having
lazy?
too much success right now. I don't think.
You know what I think changed Carmelo around? That was playing with the Olympic team
With the
this
Olympic
year.
team.
Mike Woodson's done a good job.
Oh, yeah. He should be coach of the year. Without a doubt. That's not even questionable.
I don't know. There's a lot of good coaching jobs going on right now in the NBA.
I don't know if there's a better
Worst
one than
coach, Mike D'Antoni. He's not doing anything different.
that.
Mike
No,
D'Antoni.
whoever the Wizards coach is. The Bobcats,
The Bobcats, I mean,
they were on like a huge losing streak right now.
it's still a lot better than they were last year.
They won what, like...
Still, they're a lot better than they were last year.
I think they might have as many wins as they did last year.
It's very possible.
Is Jordan the worst owner ever?
I don't know.
You seen him at GM at Wizards. You know who his biggest signing was when he was at the Wizards? Himself. Rip Hamilton and himself, and they still couldn't make the playoffs.
Did he get Gilbert?
He was the GM player at the same time.
That's pretty crazy.
It's kind of cool, but I mean, it would have been cooler
Stupid.
if you made the playoffs.
We've watched that semi-pro.
That was a good movie, so like I kind of like the concept.
To me, he's the Jerry Jones of the NBA.
An owner who wants to be GM.
Yeah.
Well, he knows the game though. Who could know the game better than Michael Jordan?
There's players and there's administrators. Just like there's players and there's coaches. Some people are great coaches, bad players. Some people are both, you know. I don't think he's a great administrator. I don't think
he should have traded Gerald Wallace.
No.
All right, Randy, let's hear your topic. You seem like you're bored with ours. Let's hear what you want to hear. Let's get to what you want to talk about.
I think it's about time to. We've already talked for like an hour.
Yeah, it was like,
Time to cut it off?
Yeah.
Next week, bitches.
You didn't say bye to everybody, Jagger.
I said next week, bitches.
Too early.
Did anyone take that